General Science, Standard 6, Chapter 2. Let us continue. Fourth characteristic of living things: responsiveness to stimuli and movement. Living things act in various ways when responding to a stimulus. Stimulus: something that causes part of the body to react. If you suddenly enter a cowshed, the cows and buffaloes stand up, begin to move. One or two may even start mooing. These are all movements. A, a creeper planted in the courtyard leans towards a support. A potted plant placed in a window grows towards sunlight. It means that plants too show movement. Living things move of their own accord. The movement or the change taking place in a living thing at such a time is their response to a stimulus. An event that occurs in our surroundings is a stimulus. The ability of living things to respond to a stimulus is called their responsiveness to stimuli. Responsiveness to stimuli is a characteristic of living things. Fifth characteristic: reproduction. Living things produce other living things like themselves. Some animals give birth to their young ones. Some lay eggs. Their young ones hatch out of the eggs. New plants are produced from the seeds, stems, or leaves of plants. The process by which a living thing generates a new living thing like itself is called reproduction or procreation. Reproduction is a characteristic of living things. Next characteristic is a definite lifespan. At a certain stage of life, living things become capable of reproduction. Later on in life, reproduction stage, their organs become weak, and still later their life comes to an end. In other words, living things die. The lifespans of different animals and plants are different. For example, the lifespan of the dog is 12 to 18 years, while the ostrich lives for 50 years. You may have wondered what exactly the living things are, how they came into being, and so on. A cellular structure. Living things are made of small units called cells. All the actions and processes in the bodies of living things are brought about with the help of these microscopic cells. Some living things are made of a single cell. These are called unicellular organisms. On the other hand, the living things that are made of many cells are called multicellular organisms. The amoeba and some other microorganisms are unicellular, while man, cow, mouse, cockroach, elephants, banyan tree, etc. are all multicellular organisms. All the characteristics of living things are seen in every cell of a living thing, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. Cellular structure is the main characteristic of living things, even though the number of cells may vary.